Hello friends, I welcome you in the video lecture on optimum design part 3. So in this video lecture I am going to explain the two examples, two numericals based on the optimum design. So first numerical is formulate the PDE, USDE and ELE for a shaft subjected to torque T. The objective of design is minimum weight of the shaft. So here we have to formulate the PDE, that is primary design equation, SDE, that is subsidiary design equation, and LE, that is limit equation for a shaft subjected to torque T, and objective is to have the minimum weight of the shaft. So first of all, right here the shaft is subjected to torque. As it is subjected to torque T, so the type of stress that will induce in the shaft will be torsional shear stress. So this torsional shear stress will required in the SDE, and the objective of optimization is the minimization of weight as it is mentioned here. So first of all, write down the primary design equation, that is PDE. Now we know that the definition of PDE is, as per definition, the PDE is based on the objectives of optimization, and this is the definition of PDE. This is just for the reference. You don't need to write this definition in the numerical. PDE is one which express the most significant functional requirement to be maximized or the most significant undesirable effect to be minimized. That means this functional requirement parameter to be maximized or minimized will be represented in objective, and the objective of optimization is the minimization of weight. That means this PDE is always based on the objectives of optimization. So as the objective is here to minimization of weight, so primary design equation must express the equation of weight. So first of all, write down here, we know that density rho is equal to mass upon volume. So basically we have to use this equation to first get the value of equation of mass. So mass is equal to rho into V, and we have to multiply by G to finally get this mass into weight. So before that we have to use here the expression of volume. So as this shaft is having circular cross section and having its length small l, so volume we can write as a pi by 4 d square into L. Now this mass is in kg, because this density is the ratio of mass upon volume, kg per meter cube. So if this mass having unit kg, so multiply by g, that is acceleration due to gravity, to convert this mass kg into Newton, so that we can get the expression for weight, which is our objective, which is the part of objective of optimization. So therefore by multiplying g we'll get the expression for weight. Now this expression for weight is nothing but our primary design equation. So above equation express the weight which is to be minimized. So hence by using this equation of weight we have represented our objective of optimization. So PDE is related to objective of optimization, that is PDE is related to weight. Thus as per definition this is PDE. Now we'll write the subsidiary design equation. Now the subsidiary design equation is the equation other than PDE. So generally if other than PDE, if some terms are given, for example if for the PDE we have been given the terms, that is weight, so we have expressed the equation of weight as a PDE. If other terms are given just like a torsional stiffness, then we can use that equation for SDE. But here apart from weight no other technical term parameter is mentioned, so by default we have to take the stress equation as a SDE. So we know that in this shaft, the torsional shear stress is going to induce. So we will take that torsional shear stress as a SDE. So therefore, this is the definition of this SDE. The equations other than PDE are called as SDE. Generally, in optimum design, the stress equations are SDE, as I explained. If other than weight, if there is no any other technical parameter is given in the numerical, then by default we can use the stress equations as a SDE. In this problem statement, the shaft is subjected to torsional shear stress. So therefore we have to write the equation of torsional shear stress as a SDE, and that equation is given by tau is equal to 16 mt upon pi d cube. So this equation of torsional shear stress indicates SDE as per definition. So this is the SDE, that is subsidiary design equation. Now we will write the limit equation. Remember that as we have a confirmed point about this SDE, that many times the stress will be indicated, the stress we can consider as a SDE, stress equation we can consider as a SDE. Similarly here we have one fixed point that the allowable stresses are generally expressed as a limit equation, and we know that the allowable stresses are expressed in terms of SYT, SUT and FS. So we have to write the allowable stress equations as a limit equation. So this is the definition of this limit equation. Here some parameters are expressed in the form of ranges, and that parameters we have to consider, that expression we have to consider as a limit equation that we have seen in the previous video lecture. So allowable shear stress we have to use, allowable shear stress equation we have to use, because this shaft is it is subjected to torsional shear stress. So we have to use allowable shear stress equation. And the allowable shear stress equation is given by tau is equal to tau less than or equal to 0.5 SUT upon Fs. Now this equation consists of inequality sign, and it indicates that this allowable shear stress must be less than or equal to, that allowable shear stress must be less than or equal to 0.5 SUT upon Fs. You can write here SYT also, but this indicates that the allowable shear stress must be less than or equal to this ratio for the safe design. Now we can replace this inequality sign by equality sign. So we'll get the equation 0.5 SUT upon Fs or 0.5 SYT upon Fs. So this equation is nothing but the limit equation. So as per definition, this is a limit equation. Now remember that just we will have the quick review on this first problem. So the PDE express the optimization parameter, objective parameter. If your objective is to minimize the weight, then PD must express the equation of weight. If your objective of optimization is to have the maximum power transmitting capacity, then PD must express the equation of power. PD must be the equation of power. If your objective of optimization is to reduce the deflection, to have the minimum deflection, then PD must be the equation of deflection. And in this SD, many times it is the equation of stress that is going to induce in the component. As here shaft is subjected to torque, so torque, because of torque, the torsional shear stress will induce, and hence the equation of torsional shear stress we can consider as a SDE. And in the limit equation, generally or always, many times, the allowable stress equation is used as a limit equation, just like shown in this example. So this is about the first problem. Here just we have to formulate the PDE, SDE and limit equation. Now we'll solve the very important numerical in which we have been given some values for this component. So this numerical number 2 is a cantilever beam of circular cross section and length 200 mm is subjected to a force of 5 kN at the end. Factor of safety is based on the tensile yield strength is 1.5. Design the beam with objective of minimizing the material cost out of the following materials. So here three materials are given, and corresponds to these three materials. We have been given the mass density for each material in kg per meter cube. Material cost per unit mass in rupees per kg is given for each material, and yield strength SYT is given in Newton per mm square for each material. Now first of all, we'll write down the given data. So cantilever beam with a circular cross section is the component. Then its length is given 200 mm. The force at the end is applied is 5 kilonewton, so it is 5000 newton. Fs is 1.5, the factor of safety is 1.5. Then we have to design the beam. We have to design the beam means what? We have to find out a diameter of this beam, cantilever beam. But there is one objective, that objective of minimizing the material cost. That means we have to design a cantilever beam in such a way that we have to find out the diameter of cantilever beam in such a way that its material cost must be a minimum out of these three materials. So we have these three options. That means we have three possible solutions. So out of these three possible solutions, we have to select one solution which is having the minimum material cost. So for this purpose, we have to solve this. We have to go for optimum design procedure. So we have to design the beam with objective of optimization as minimizing the material cost. So this is our problem statement on which we have to work out here. So this is a cantilever beam which is fixed at one end, subjected to force at the free end, having magnitude 5000 Newton, length 200 mm, and diameter d we have to determine. So this is the numerical statement. Now first of all, we'll follow the first step. The steps I have explained in the last video lecture, we are going to use the same step here. So first step is define the objective of optimum design and write the initial PDE which express the quantity to be optimized. Now here, as this is the first step, define the objective of optimum design, but here already the objective of optimum design is given. And what is that objective? Minimizing the material cost. So we'll use this as it is. Objective of optimum design is minimization of material cost. Now we'll write the initial PDE. So second point is write PDE. Now we know that this PDE always express the parameter used in the objective, and the parameter used in the objective is material cost. So ultimately this PDE must express the equation of material cost. So let us write the equation for material cost. So this is the definition, it is just for the reference. We know that the material cost in rupees is equal to mass in kg into cost per unit mass, that is in unit rupees per kg. If you take the multiplication of these two parameters, so this kg will get cancelled, and finally you will get the material cost in rupees. So this is the equation of PD. Now what we have to do, just we have to put here the value of this mass. We have to replace this mass in terms of density, in terms of diameter, and in terms of length. Just we have seen in the last lecture how we have derived the equation for mass in terms of density rho and d and length L. So we can use the designation to these terms. Material cost is designated by C suffix MTL, that is C material cost. Mass in kg designated by M, small m, and cost per unit mass in rupees per kg designated by capital C. Equation number 1. Now we have to replace this M in terms of rho, diameter d, and length L. So let us do that. So we know that density rho is equal to mass upon volume. Take that M on the LHS. Now here put the equation for V. As we know that the cross section is circular having length L, so its volume will be pi by 4 d square into L. So replace that V by this expression pi by 4 d square into L. Now here L is known, so put the value of L here and just simplify this. So pi by 4 into this 200, So for 200 upon 4 it is 50, so this equation becomes 50 pi rho into d square. Now put this value of m in the equation number 1. So this is equation number 1. Here we have to put this value of m, 50 pi rho d square here. By putting this value of m we get the equation, and this equation is nothing but the initial PDE. So this equation represents the material cost. This equation represents the material cost, and hence we call it as a PDE because this material cost is the parameter used in objectives. So thus, as per definition, this is a PDE. Now the second second step is write all SDs. Now here, as there is no another parameter is mentioned apart from the material cost, so only SDE possible is the stress induced in the cantilever beam. So we have to write the stress equation as a SDE. So here the cantilever beam is subjected to bending stress. Can you, as you can see here in this diagram, the load is applied at the free end. So this cantilever beam, obviously it is subjected to bending stress. So we have to write the equation for bending stress. So that equation is mb upon I into y, equation number 2. Now we have to find and replace the value of mb and y in this equation number 2. So let us find out first mb. So mb, bending moment, is maximum at the fixed end, and its value is F into L, that is 5000 into 200. So 5000 into 200 is the maximum bending moment and its value is 10 into 10 raised to 5 Newton mm. Now let us find out this I and Y. So I for circular cross section, moment of inertia pi by 64 d raised to 4, and Y is d by 2. Now let us put this value of I, Y and MB in this equation number 2. So by putting in equation number 2, we'll get the equation like this. Now just simplify this to get sigma B. So after simplification you will get 32 into 10 raised to 6 upon pi d cube, and this is nothing but the SDE. SDE express the equation of stress. Here cantilever beam is subjected to bending stress, so SDE will be the bending stress equation. So this is the SDE, subsidiary design equation. Now we'll write the limit equation. As I have explained, the limit equation is the equation of allowable stress. As this cantilever beam is subjected to bending stress, so allowable bending stress we must consider. So therefore, the allowable bending stress is given by equation sigma b less than or equal to HYT upon Fs. So we can replace this inequality sign. So sigma b is equal to SYT upon Fs. Here Fs is given 1.5, so we can put the value of Fs, and this equation is nothing but the limit equation. Very simple. Allowable stress equation is nothing but a limit equation. Now the fourth step. Now here on this step, very important part of this numerical is begin. Now we have to, here in step number 4, we have to combine all SDEs with the initial PDE. Now initial PDE we have obtained in the step number 1. From step number 1 we can get the PDE, initial PDE, and SDE we can get it from the step number 2. So initial PDE, we have already seen that this is the equation of initial PDE, which represents the material cost, which is the part of objective of optimization. Now from step number 2 we can get the bending stress. So now we have to combine this SDE with the initial PDE, and in order to do this, just we have to replace. Remember, we have to replace the geometrical parameter from initial PDE. So this is the initial PDE, and from this initial PDE we have to replace this geometrical parameter. If we look at the other parameter, this 50 pi is constant, rho is the density, which is the material parameter, and this C is the material cost per kg. So this is also a material parameter. So this D is the only geometrical parameter, and we have to replace this geometrical parameter using SDE. And if you observe this SDE, we have here term D. So we can take this D on the LHS and we can put the value of D here, so we can indirectly combining SD with the PD. So let us simplify this to get the value of D here. So D cube is equal to 32 into 10 raised to 6 upon pi into sigma B. Now D will be into bracket 32 into 10 raised to 6 upon pi into sigma B raised to 1 upon 3. Now we have to put this value of D in this initial PDE, that is we are replacing the geometrical parameter D, that means we are combining SD with the initial PDE. So by putting in the equation number 3, we can get the equation like this. So just simplify this bracket. So this 1 upon 3 raised to 2 will become 2 upon 3. Now again we can simplify this in the next part. So this is nothing but the developed PDE. This is nothing but the developed PDE. Now the fifth step is, now in the last step we have combined the SD with the initial PDE and we have obtained the developed PDE. Here we have obtained the developed PDE in fourth step. Now we have to combine this developed PDE with the limit equation in step number 5. So in the step 5 we have to combine the limit equation with the developed PDE to get the final PDE. And also we have to make the separate group of material parameters in this final PDE. So first of all, we'll write the developed PDE which we have obtained in the step number 4. So this is the developed PDE, and limit equation from step number 3 is sigma B is equal to SYT upon Fs. So here we have to combine this limit equation with the developed PDE. That means we have to put this value of sigma B here. We have to put this value of sigma B here, that is SYT upon Fs. So in this way we are combining limit equation with developed PDE. So let us replace the sigma B. So we have replaced the sigma B by SYT upon Fs here. So SYT upon 1.5, we have written Fs is 1.5. Now let us simplify this. Now after simplification, we have to group the material parameters together. Now you can see here this rho density, it is the material parameter, C material cost per kg is the material parameter, and this SYT is the material parameter. So we have to group this together, sigma C and SYT we have to bring together, and remaining constants we have to take outside the bracket. So after solving this we can get this. So into bracket we can get a rho into C upon SYT upon 2 raised to 3. So in this step number 5 we have to group this material parameter together, and this equation is nothing but the final PDE, that is final primary design equation. Now note that our objective of optimization is the minimizing the material cost, and this is the final equation for the material cost. If it depends on these parameters rho C upon SYT raised to 2 SYT raised to 2 by 3. You can easily understand that to have the minimum material cost, the value of this group of parameter must be minimum. So we have to select the material out of that 3 given materials such that the value of this group of parameter is minimum. Note that material cost C fixed material will be minimum if for that material the group of parameter is minimum. So this is the final PDE. Now in the step number 6, find the values of group of material parameter for all the materials using tabular data. Now we have to find out that group of parameters, material parameter using the given values. So this table is given to us. So this material is given in the first column, steel, aluminum alloy, magnesium alloy. This density is given in kg per meter cube, but remember here we have to convert this kg per meter cube to the kg per mm cube, because all our dimensions are in mm. So we have to convert this density unit from kg per meter cube to kg per mm cube. So we have converted this unit. Then C is given already in the table, SYT values were given to us in the table, Additionally, we have to calculate this group of parameter values. So rho into C upon SYT raised to 2 by 3. So for each material, rho is given, C is given, and SYT is given. So by putting all these values in this equation for each material, you can get this value of group of parameter. So after calculating this value of group of parameter for each material like this, next we have to go for the next step. By comparing objective of optimization with the values of group of material parameter, select the optimum material. So as I explained earlier, the material cost will be minimum if this value of group of parameter is minimum. If we compare the value for these three materials, this value of group of parameter is minimum for steel, and thus the steel is the optimum material for this design problem. So from above table, it is observed that the rho C upon SYT raised to 2 by 3 is a minimum for steel, and therefore selecting the steel as a optimum material, because this cost of material directly depends on this group of parameter. So the material which is having this group of parameter value less, that is the best material for our problem. So by referring that equation, we have written here from the above table, it is observed that this group of parameter value is minimum for steel, therefore selecting the steel as a optimum material. Now second last step, calculate the optimum values for the eliminated geometrical parameters from SDE by solving the original design equation. So here we have to use the original SDE from the step number 2, and we have to calculate the eliminated geometrical parameter. So this is the equation of SDE, and indirectly here we have to find out this D. So we know that sigma B is given by equation SYT upon Fs. So here HYT for steel, you can refer it from table because we have selected the steel. That means we have to use the SYT value for steel. So SYT value for steel is 400. So by putting the value of SYT here 400 and Fs as 1.5, so we can get the value of sigma P as 266.66. Put this value of sigma B here and calculate the value of diameter. So this is the value of eliminated geometrical parameter. Now why this is called as eliminated geometrical parameter? Because if you refer the step number 4, where we have combined the SDE with the initial PDE. While combining SDE with the initial PDE, we have replaced the D from initial PDE and we have combined SDE. So during that step, we have replaced this D in that equation. So that's why it is called as eliminated geometrical parameter. So we have calculated here. Step number 9, find the optimum value of quantity to be optimized. Now we have to find out the optimum value of quantity to be maximized. That means we have to find out the optimum material cost, and we have to use the final PD to find out the optimum value of material cost. So from step 5 we can get the final PDE. So this is the final PDE and it gives the material cost. Now we have to replace these values by referring the steel because we have selected steel. That means we have to use the value of rho for steel, C for steel, and SYT for steel. So by referring the table, we can put the value for steel. Already we have calculated this group of parameter in the table, so directly you can use the value of this group of parameter. It is 2011.48 into 10 raised to minus 9 for steel. So put this value here and simplifying, we get the material cost as 19.45 rupees. So this is the optimum value of quantity to be optimized, that is optimum value of material cost, and this is the complete problem. So thanks for watching this video. If you have any query related to this numerical, please mention in the comment section.